So I've been using this summer mixer now for a couple of weeks on a project I've been working on, and I've been really impressed by some of the features. It's not just a summer mixer, is it? It can be used in a variety of different applications.
Yeah, the 8816 can be used in many different ways in your studio. It can be used to monitor from your DAW when recording or mixing.
Yeah, so with the multiple speaker and headphone outputs, this essentially acts as your monitor selector, meaning you can monitor the different speaker sets from your DAW.
Yes, and you can also use it to submix recording groups. So useful if you're working with limited inputs on your interface, or if you want to get that Neve summing sound pre-DAW.
And for overdubbing, you can use the summer mixer and its cues to set a cue send to performers.
Yeah, channels 15 and 16 will be your stereo cue mix for your performers from your DAW. Then channels 1 to 14 can be used to send individual reference tracks or other elements into the cue mix. And these can be used to send guide tracks to cut in and out easily for your performers.
So this leaves your 2-track returns free for any reverbs and effects and things like that.
Yeah, the 2-track can be routed to the cue mix, and the engineer can monitor either the cue mix or the main mix on the headphone output from the front of the unit.
And I've heard the 8816 summer mixer can be used as a live recording mixer.
It can. So your 8816 will be connected to your recording device, and then the individual inputs on the channels can be sent from any point on your front of house board, either from your auxes, matrix outs, direct outs, and blended and adjusted to create your 2-track mix for the live recording.
And of course, you can use this to mix and sum your audio at the mixdown stage, giving it that classic Neve 88R console sound. And as I mentioned before, I've been using this to sum groups for stereo mastering and of course just normal mixing and things like that.
Yeah, it's a really great unit for all those applications. Now the features over here in this section are what really makes the unit special. We have the 2-track, which can be used for sending 2-track mixes to the cue headphones, or as said earlier, reverb returns to the cues. We also have the insert mix, which has an IMR blend function, and that allows you to use parallel processing or mix bus processing.
So like a Neve 33609 compressor.
Yeah, so you can add a master insert to the entire signal using the INS button, or using the IMR, you can blend this in accordingly.
And by pressing this pot, turns the insert into a sum and difference or mid-side. That's a technique used in mastering quite a lot, which means you can get independent control over the mid or side information, which means you can really mold and shape your final mix.
Yeah, and then that's converted back into stereo for recording into your DAW.
And we have the stereo width control. Again, this is something typically found in mastering, allowing you to mono or add a bit of extra width to the signal.
Yeah, the width control is the same design found on the Genesis Black console. And it's really useful for, say, if you're working on a club mix, you can narrow it so it's very tight, controlled mix. Or if you're working with an acoustic guitar, soloist, you can add a lot of width to the mix and really bring it out.
So I spoke to an engineer who owns a Neve 8816 summer mixer, and he uses it by passing groups through it, so like your drums, your vocals, your string sections, just to make it a bit more cohesive before sending it off for mastering.
Yeah, it can be used however you want really. You can bus stereo tracks through it, single tracks, it can be used as your mixer, or just as an add-on for your existing console.